What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea, and we are talking Survivor 44, Episode 4, with Pat Farley. And Pat, super stoked to be talking about this episode. Um, one of the nerds did not get eliminated, so I know that you're a little disappointed, but how are we feeling about this episode?
I really enjoyed this episode. I'm a little less heated than last week. I was a little bit more my survivor belly has been a little satisfied because I got an appetite for a nice little blindside, and that's what we got this episode. Um and I thought it was a great episode, and you know what? I think there's some actual gameplay happening that's like, okay, it's not when nothing happens and then all the characters start to blend together, I get a little upset. And that's what you saw last week. But this week was interesting. I actually really like this week.
I think this week there was a little bit of a blind side, and I think it was a nice twist with Shipwheel Island, and I think this was Josh's coming out party here.
Yeah, I
We
think
finally kind of got to know him a little bit.
yeah, you're like, oh, what's this Rip guy doing? I here's my thing too. Here's because again, I every episode I'm gonna have a gripe. Just tell people you're a
What?
surgeon. Just tell people you're a
Hmm.
surgeon. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Oh, he's a surgeon, so he's good at puzzles? I don't what? How does that correlate? I don't know. I guess he's smart, but like nobody needs surgery unless they
I
call in
think what
medical.
happens, I think what happens when people lie about their occupation is they're in their head too much about it, and then
Oh,
eventually
100%.
it catches up to and bites them in the ass, and people think they're lying.
What's somebody else is lying? Who's who is lying and they
Carson,
shouldn't be lying?
Carson's lying. Carson's
He's
lying,
lying.
saying that he's just a student and he's not working for NASA, basically.
Yeah, that's like I
Something like that.
like if we were building a rocket or I'd be like, okay, maybe we should fucking get him out. But I, I think there's a lot of that. I feel like now more than ever in shows like Survivor or Big Brother, like if you have even a remotely like job that requires like more than a bachelor's degree, like if you have a master's degree, they're like, I'm not going to tell anyone about this, which doesn't make. I mean, I don't know. If you went on Big Brother or Survivor, would you tell everybody you're an engineer?
Yes, because I would be afraid that I would like get caught up in a lie of some sort.
Yeah, that's also another thing. How do they keep? I mean, they can't because John. They immediately were like, he's definitely a surgeon. He's not. Why would you need steady? First of all, if you're another thing, if you're going into a challenge, like, don't worry, guys. In my line of work, we need steady hands, and also to be clean, and also I'm a surgeon. Like you might as well have just said that.
Doesn't make too much sense, but it was fun to get some swapping of the tribes. So Josh
Yeah,
goes
that was cool.
to the purple tribe, and we have Carson being swapped onto the orange tribe, and then Jamie being swapped onto the green tribe.
Yeah.
So at the top of the episode, I know that you missed the top of the episode, Pat, but Josh basically thought that he was in a great position between two duos where he was not. He was probably going to get voted out if they went to another tribal. So he gets swapped, and now he's in a position. Everybody gets an idol too. What did you think of everybody that was swapped getting an idol?
I I'm
Too
not a
much.
huge little much, right? Like I'm not like I don't mind that there's idols. Like I enjoy that there are idols. I think the birdcage was that's fun. That's like a fun twist on something. It mixes it up. I think just giving them idols and swapping tribes, it's like okay, you know what's gonna happen. Like I don't know, it seems kind of just like they didn't earn it in any way. They didn't look for it. It kind of just happened. So I was like, that kind of sucks. And it also sets up, I'm surprised that, you know, the last time that someone went to this island and came back, they came back with advantage. And I think people should know that. Like, I know the twist was that they swapped, but there's typically always an advantage. Like, unless, like, on every single reward challenge, there, or if you go off by yourself, you have to just assume that that person has, like, we saw it today. Danny was like, his name's the firefighter, Danny. Is that his name?
Yes, Danny.
He's just like, I'm gonna go through all of her shit. I mean, granted, you didn't find anything, but he's got the
Yeah,
right mentality of like, she must have something. Um,
right.
so I don't understand why they, and maybe it's just because this tribe is kind of in shambles. But like, I mean, what's the name of the girl who literally just got voted out?
Sarah.
Sarah. Sarah went to this island, got an advantage. You think she would be like, you know, I don't
You would
know.
think there would be more talks about throwing votes between everybody else. That was
Yeah,
voting. That was not Josh. Which
yeah.
there was none. They were kind of just like, let's bluff a Carolyn blindside to Josh. Carolyn's in on the plan. Carolyn didn't really like that, and she went off on her own and talked to Josh and ended up voting with him, voting out Sarah. And we get a blindside of Sarah and Jam Jam is just that was, I think, the best reaction of a vote so far this season. Just like in utter
100%.
shock.
And also, Carolyn and hand up, Duke,
You
completely
read her wrong.
read her wrong. Hand up,
Bringing
egg
it.
on my face. Carolyn is probably one of the best players in the season so far. Every move
Best.
she's made. Now, yeah, she's not a graceful, player. No, but she. I missed that you were telling me at the top of the episode she made a cool. Or no, that wasn't her. Was it her?
Let me set the scene of what
Yeah,
she did at the beginning of the episode.
yeah.
So Carolyn, we got this scene where the tribe, before Carson was swapped off of this tribe, they all woke up to the birdcage having two red sticks in the birdcage. Where later on we know that Carolyn woke up in the middle of the night, put two red sticks into the birdcage, interwove them into a red X, and everybody was like, "What is this?" And so they go back to where the campgrounds are, and Carolyn also put a red X near like a tree trunk that they sit on, and she put the fake immunity idol that she got from the birdcage into the trunk. And that's where we see Sarah kind of
Yeah,
rummaging around and finding it later.
yeah. And so that not only does Carolyn fake out Sarah, Sarah already has a huge advantage that she didn't play.
Well, even if she did, she
And
might have played it, we don't know. But if she did, she got voted out, so she didn't
but
reap the
unbeknownst
benefits.
to Carolyn, she gets out probably one of the most powerful players in the game who has the most powers or has probably one of the best powers. And she puts herself at top of the run on her tribe, you know. So she's like, okay, I don't like being dictated what to do. Okay, I'll put it in my hands then. Like, let me. I don't. We've known each other for 9 days. You guys have been telling me what to do. I didn't fuck up the immunity challenge, Jam Jam. Why am I the one who's getting put on the back burner? She put herself in charge of her own game, and ugh, it's honestly, I was wrong. Egg on my face, Carolyn. You have completely won me over, and I'm in love with her now. I want her to go far.
And you did say earlier in a recap with Matthew Papa that you did think that she was going to make the merge. I think this just
Yeah.
kind of confirms it.
Oh, solidified it 100%. I think, yeah, and Carolyn's killing it. And my initial thought of her, she was brash, and I was like, oh, there's no way she makes it. She has been killing it, and did not give her a lot of credit. So Pat's wrong. Carolyn for the win. You can Photoshop me and Carolyn, like,
I will do that.
yeah,
I
okay,
want to read a tweet that I saw while we were watching the episode, a recap of all the advantages in the game. And this is from Mike Bloom at Mike Bloom Type on Twitter. So just to review, hashtag Survivor 44 currently has people who have an idol: Carolyn, Danny, and Matthew. People who have a pre-merge idol: Carson, Jamie, and Josh. Josh just played his. Fake idol that knows it's fake, Brandon. Fake idol that thinks it's real, Sarah, Matt, and Jamie. Inherited advantage, Sarah. Extra vote, Laura.
It's a lot. It's like a lot. It's almost like I literally I didn't know half of that. And you know why? Because it's too much. Like I don't
Well,
know.
I'll
Like
say
I
this. Three of the advantages were and fake idol slash other stuff were eliminated with this one vote. Josh
yeah,
plays his idol correctly.
which
And then
you gotta.
Sarah voted out. Surprised we didn't see her play the fake idol. Would have been kind of fun.
That would have been, and Carolyn's the one who, dude,
Granted
little
it.
that would have put knockout.
And we also lose the inherited advantage. We never got to see if that ended up. I don't know. We never
Yeah,
get so.
but yeah, what do you think? Because I think it's too much. I think there's way too many. Like I like the birdcage. I like that there's an idol and there's a fake idol. And anytime there's a fake idol played, it's awesome. Like must watch
I
TV.
agree. I will say this, and I this isn't my idea. This is sparked from me watching Rob Has a Podcast and the Know It Alls and watching them talk about it. I think the fake idols are too much, and I think they thought so as well. Basically, like it was more fun back in the day in Survivor where you had to like construct the idol out of
Make
stuff
one.
that you found. Because then they're
Yeah,
just giving them out, and how do you tell if it's you don't have a chance at that point? You just assume it comes with this parchment that they give you that says it's real, even though it's fake. So there's no way if you're
yeah,
Matt or you're Jamie or you're Sarah, there's no way that you freaking know. You can't
yeah,
tell.
yeah. That's a good point. That's like it's yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just like a new school game thing, but it's like I just I it, it number one. There's it's so hard to follow what's going on because everybody has something,
Mhm.
and it's almost like and like with the idols being given, like I'm like that I don't think they really earned it. Like just because they got on a boat, you know. And I like the merge, the tribe swap. That's cool. That does set them up for failure. And I get what they're thinking of like, okay, well, if they're going to go on a new merge, day 9, let's give them some protection. But why? Like, you know, it's going to be predict. And I guess what they're doing is they're trying to throw in like a wrench, you know. But Tika sucks. The tribe
I mean,
sucks.
if they played it out and they didn't give out those items, right? And Josh doesn't have
Yeah,
an idol at this, we have a 2-2 tie,
yeah,
and Carolyn flipped on her old alliance, and somebody might get rocked out.
yeah. Which
Kind
is
of probably would have been awesome.
Yeah, it would have been sick. And it's just like, why are we overcomplicating the game when it's tried and true? It's the game is fun. I don't think we need to like, you know, I get it. Another twist. I get the whole like we got to reinvent. I understand that. I'm not some boomer who's like, no, the fucking little game sucks. I think you just got to get number one, a little bit more better of better game players, and two, uh, just simplify it. Why do we have to have a million twists and a million this and that and lose a vote, have a vote, never have a vote? It's like, come on, can we just play Survivor? Can we get a villain? Can we get like a can we get somebody to stir the pot up a little bit? Fuck, man. Everybody's so goddamn nice. Even Jeff. Jeff's real nice to everybody. And I get it. He's very nice. Come on, Jeff, fucking get in the head. I
I want
love
some
when
sassy Jeff.
I want sassy. I want some like I want some like if and a little bit this episode where I want them to roast the people when they're fucking up. Like give me that. Like Jam Jam is taking literally a million seconds to get to on a balance beam. Throw an insult in there. Jam Jam looks like a little baby. Like what is he doing? You know? I do like when what's her name? She belly flopped. They slow mode that
Oh
down.
my God.
And she was like, I'm not doing it. And she goes, okay, someone's got to go back. And it's Brandon. It's going to suck. He's got a long way. Like, yeah, do more. Like, yeah, come on.
That was those slow-mos of the belly flops are always so
Awesome.
brutal because that
Yeah.
hurt like a bitch.
That was a good challenge, though. I did like that challenge. Like the
There's
jumping
always
off.
one there's always one contestant that never can get high enough to get that buoy thing.
Dude, that would suck. That
Do you
would
think you
suck.
could get it?
I was actually watching it and I was like, I'd be the one to fuck it up. Like I'd be the one because I don't like heights and I would try to like maybe like one hand it and then like I would
No.
tap it. I would tap it. No, I would definitely do this, but like
Yeah,
if I were to like if I were to like tap it and then it doesn't come down, I'm like, oh, I go all the way back. And uh yeah, I want some sass. And I guess it's gonna happen when they merge, like
yeah.
tribes, when it's two tribes or one tribe. I'm sure it's gonna pick up, but I don't know. It's just like a lot.
Um, I talked about Claire when she was sitting out of challenges, and they seemed to kind of pan to her in these like not typical scenes, like little one-offs, like Claire, why are you sitting out? Claire, this, and it seemed I called it. I thought that it was going to be a storyline down the line. This episode, I noticed Danny, after they won the challenge, does like a triple front flip off of the uh like stand where they were.
Yeah,
And Jeff's like, I'll give that 11 out of 10. And the people look at him like, I think that could be something that they're alluding to down the line. Maybe Danny being a little bit too much um, showmanship, I would say. Kind of
little rah
like,
rah.
kind of like when somebody misses a foul shot on the other team and you give them a pat on the back.
That was genuine though. That was genuine. Yeah, I
Was
think.
it?
I mean,
I
we won. We won. It doesn't matter. Fuck everybody else. I
think that's
won.
worse.
Uh, um, but yeah, I think it's kind of like one of those Christian from Big Brother doing uh
Burpee King.
Burpee King doing backflip burpees. It's like should you be doing that in front of everyone just because you can? Probably not. Let's get the target a little bit smaller. Now, granted, they haven't had to go to tribal at all, so they're in a pretty good spot. But Danny's also like that's why I don't think Danny's gonna. I think Danny. There's no shot Danny makes it, and I a
What do
hundred
you mean?
percent
Danny makes it. Danny makes what?
like he wins. I think
Oh, okay.
he's setting himself up to get because he can be a little much, and and I think he's gonna be like the villain. He's gonna get in people's faces. Like he's like, I don't care. I'll go through her shit, which I love to watch, which is great because it's entertaining. But I was like, that
What's
is
their fa-
not sustainable,
Brandy's like, if you want to do that, I'll like keep an eye out, but I'm
dude.
not gonna
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, and like I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. Because I'm one of those people that like I would never go through somebody's bag, but it's so boring. It's so boring that everyone's like, "Oh my god, hey, hey!" You know what I actually thought when they were coming up, when the new people were coming off the boat, I'd be like, "Empty your fucking bag, empty your bag right now," like because what do what do we owe you? Nothing. Like we need someone, and I think Danny's gonna be that to his own fault. But everybody's so fucking nice to each other. I think Danny's the one who's like, I'll go through a bag. I don't give a shit. Like, let's check it. He's immediately gonna get eliminated because not only is he a physical
He
threat, but
he
he's
he
brash.
screamed, yeah, he screams merge boot to me. They merge and
Yeah,
then they're like, we got to get rid of him because he's going to start winning immunity challenges and we don't know
yeah,
when we can get rid of him next. He
yeah,
probably is going to take
yeah,
out a big player with that idol that he has, but besides that, I don't know if people are going to stick
yeah.
up for him.
No, no, not at all. He's definitely gonna be the villain of the season. And but it's like it's fun to watch and it's like he's doing something. So it's you know, I like that. I think, I I think with like the newer seasons, like you get these people, and I get it. It's like the times we live in and stuff like that. Everybody's very nice to each other. Everybody's very, but that's not outwit, outplay, outlast. That's just, and I think you can do that. You can be like a poverty. You can be very nice to people to their face and then fucking stab them in the back. But I haven't seen any inkling of that.
You
So
haven't seen the stab in the back yet.
no. But so for now, I'm like, I am coasting on Danny being a dickhead and going through people's stuff. And, I hope we get to a point in the season where that becomes a regular thing, which it's obviously not. That's wishful thinking. But, you know, I just want to see people play the game as best as possible and not consider people's feelings because I don't think it should be about that. It shouldn't be about people's feelings. Like I get it, these people are making friends and doing this, but at the end of the day, these people aren't paying your bills. Cut them, go through their shit, put yourself in the best position. And with all these fucking advantages, it becomes tough. But you know, I would be scared to make a move because everybody has something. Like I don't even know.
Maybe that is why you're seeing all these tentative players because they've seen
Yeah,
some of the newer seasons and
yeah.
how many advantages are out there.
Yeah, and maybe that is it. That's a good point. Like maybe it's just like there's something every week. There's always and that's good for a player because you're never out of the game. There's always a chance something could get played or something can go in your favor, and that's good as a player. As a viewer, it gets confusing, and it's like, oh, is this like it can be fun when there's crazy twists, but I don't even know half the people that have advantages or something. So I don't know. It becomes a little complicated for me, but that's my that's my boomer thought of the day. It's a
No,
different and Jeff said it, it's a different game.
different game. It's fast paced and a lot of advantages, and you kind of just got to play with it. But what I was gonna say is, I'm thinking what we're down to 14 people, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, two tribes have five, and one. No, we're down to 13 people,
Oh shit. Yeah.
right? Tribes have five, and then Hika, I think, is the purple tribe, only has three people now. So merge soon?
I think next week there's gonna be merge.
Merge, maybe.
Um but you know what competition they need to do to spice this thing up? Yeah, they
The
gotta do
one where they have to like knock each other into the mud.
that would be awesome, yes, but I would fucking love that. The basketball one where they just wrestle and like
Yeah,
that's a fun one. But they gotta do
the
the
auction.
I love the auction. The notch, hitting somebody's notch and then
Touchy subjects.
yes, dude.
Who do you think is going to win the game? Everybody who has the correct answer. Now you get to do the nonsense.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And
So
everybody's like, "Oh, you think she's going to win? We should probably vote her out."
dude, that's a classic, like, let's just stir the pot.
Yeah, it's a great.
That's a
I don't
great one.
know the last time they did that challenge, but they should bring it back for this
Yeah.
season.
I remember I was watching this YouTube video on one of the seasons. They were just giving it to somebody and Jeff got pissed. It was like, all right, well, what's the point of doing this then? Let's just
Yeah, but let's think. Anything else, Pat, with this episode that really stuck out to you in terms of? I think we covered all the advantages. I think we covered the tribal pretty well. The swap.
uh the
Do you think
swap.
that if the other teams went to elimination, they would target Carson or Jamie? Seem seems
Mm,
likely that Jamie would have been targeted from that green tribe.
yeah. I don't know about Carson because I think that conversation with Matthew kind of
Mhm.
set, which is smart on Matthew's part. Um,
He's playing well, man.
but
He's playing
he
well.
is. But is he playing too well? That's the thing. And it also sucks that he's injured. But because he's my pick to win, Matthew.
He ended up swallowing the pride, sitting out this challenge.
Thank God.
Imagine him on the
Yeah.
balance beam with one arm.
Yeah, he's like, or jumping off a fucking 20 foot. Yeah.
He
Um,
would have had to one
yeah,
hand.
but yeah, he would have had a one-handed. But I think Carson's not in a terrible position now. Um, not that I think he was pretty safe on Tika. Yeah, I think what's her name?
Jamie.
Jamie. Yeah, Jamie probably would have been targeted. I think. Um, so we'll see what happens
I
with.
hope that tribe goes to, if it doesn't swap, I hope that tribe goes to elimination because it'd be interesting to hopefully fucking Jamie plays her real idol
Yeah,
and then idle somebody out that we care about.
yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Because that
Um,
foursome looks pretty tight.
yeah. So I'm interested to see what I'd be surprised if there isn't a merge next week.
Were you interested to hear Carson kind of throwing Jam Jam under the bus when he went over to that tribe? Be like, yeah, he's pretty much the one running everything.
Yeah, I thought that was a smart play. I thought that was because I'm not a huge fan of Carson. So it was that kind of was like put me in a better like, oh, okay, Carson, like
Smart.
nice, smart play. And yeah, I think setting up that relationship with Matthew because I think Matthew's not afraid to cut someone, which I like. Um, he's looking long term. So that was a good move. I thought that was a pretty smart move. I don't know who they go after, but um, yeah, no, I thought that was cool. I'm excited to see next week too the outcome
Yeah, because I mean, thinking about all the
because
players now,
Jam Jam's on the bottom now. He's in a shitty position.
yeah, for sure. It's gonna be like it's really the driver's seat, Carolyn there. Does she want to go with Josh or continue with Jam Jam?
I'll go with
Pro-
Josh.
Probably get Josh on that.
Yeah,
But
it's
it
tough to say that.
seems go ahead.
It's tough to and it was funny because Jam Jam's like, uh, everybody thinks I'm a threat, and Carolyn's like, okay, let me get out your ally. Then it was like nice, a little poetic justice there.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, yeah, that was crazy.
They gotta figure their shit out, man.
He's like, yeah, disarray.
But I was gonna say, it seems like the two tribes, the Orange tribe, we didn't hear like literally anything from this episode except for Matthew and Carson have that one conversation. But besides that,
Yeah,
no. But we didn't hear from Kane, Brandon, or Lauren at all.
no, yeah, they were like didn't make the edit. Um,
So
so I guess everything's hunky dory over there.
they got tarps.
They got tarps. So yeah, I'm excited to see what next week is going to be like. I'm actually excited for this upcoming episode.
Super excited to talk to you about it next week too. We were
Absolutely.
supposed to have Logue on the pod today, but he bailed like a little bitch that he is. So maybe he'll
Little
come on next
bitch.
week. Maybe he'll come on next week. Maybe he won't. And yeah, appreciate the time taken to watch it tonight, Pat.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me Zoom watch it with you. It's always a highlight of my week, buddy.